What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. Today we're gonna be keeping our spooky vibes going with Festival of the Lost Weapons, doing some god roll guides, starting with the BrayTech Werewolf, getting that arcane embrace, as well as a cosmic coming out tomorrow as well as Thursday, so be on the lookout for those, as well as we got Jurassic Green and our Macabre coming out as well throughout the rest of the week, so you guys will have a good extra week to farm these bad boys from our lost dungeons that are all haunted and spooky. So starting us out with each of these weapons, we're gonna have Search Party on it. This weapon gains faster ADS time and movement speed while ADSing while no allies are near you, so when you are a lone wolf, which also has a nice perk on this BrayTech specifically, we can get that little extra ADS and movement speed, which is definitely nice in the Crucible. Now for this bad boy, for the PvE realm, got some good perks. Third and fourth column for sure. Got that small bore with range and stability as our barrel. I went with stability as our masterwork as well. Having 60 in stability and 80 in range makes this thing pretty disgusting in both Crucible and the PvE realm. Now for me personally, do like having a pendant mag on this bad boy, definitely depending on the perks that we have on the third and fourth column, or the combinations, I should say, of the perks, but this is a great option, or you could go with that high cal rounds. Alright, so first off, in the third column, we got ourselves the overflow perk. Very good. When we pick up special or heavy ammo, we're gonna reload this weapon automatically beyond its normal capacity. Very good with that appended mag, or even the extended mag, so you can get a bunch of ammo inside of an AR. Very good for a couple different options that we have for the fourth column. This right here with the rewind rounds is probably my #1 choice, with when we do damage with this weapon, depending on the number of hits that we have when it is empty, we're gonna get a chunk of that back, so feels very good in something like an auto rifle, LMG, stuff like that. So this would be my #1 choice. The last option for this third column is subsistence for PvE. We got ourselves defeating the targets, partially reloads the magazine from reserves. Definitely also a very good thing for the odd clear side of this weapon. If you're going into that, keeping it basically always full if you're clearing out those rank and file red bar enemies. Alright, right here, fourth column, we got ourselves the old swashbuckler, giving ourselves a stack up to 33% damage increase depending on if we get defeats with the weapon or with our melee, granting us that max stacks instantly. So very good damage option. Probably would throw this at 2 or 3. For me, target lock, definitely not a bad option, especially since we have rewind rounds on this bad boy. We're gonna get a good little bit of damage buff on that when we are doing that consistent damage, and it's just gonna automatically keep reloading every single time with that rewind round. So target lock, definitely very good. Would put it basically at that tied with our other perk that we had at first. Now besides swash and target lock, we're gonna go with kinetic tremors. Definitely my #1 choice, especially this with rewind rounds is super disgusting, giving that little extra shockwave AoE damage that we have. Very good for a little extra damage on bosses, plus it clears out rank and file enemies that are around the boss, around champions, etc., where you're gonna have this proc consistently. So that would be my #1 choice. Kinetic tremors with rewind rounds and that appended mag small bore, definitely the 5 out of 5 for PvE. Would throw that probably around a 4.6, 4.7. I've always been a sucker for the BrayTech Werewolf, even when it first came out way back in the day. One of my favorite auto rifles for sure, so definitely a slapping weapon for PvE and even for the PvP realm too. Now PvP, like I was talking about, we're gonna go ahead and go with small bore with the range masterwork, this time having 90 in our range with that 60 in stability. Absolutely slapping guardians from a mile away. We got ourselves a ricochet in the second column. Very disgusting for bouncing off of walls, getting that little extra bit of oomph on that. Plus we get 5 in range, 10 in stability, making this thing an absolute menace. Now for me, dynamic sway is our first option for the third column for PvP. Improved accuracy stability while we are holding the trigger down makes this thing an absolute laser beam with 91 range and that 60 stability already. Dynamic sway definitely gives it that extra little bit head off. Next off, we got that Lone Wolf perk that I was talking about that pairs with its Search Party Origin trait pretty well. Slightly improves aim assist, ADS, airborne effectiveness, increase the effect when we are near no allies. So if you're going off by yourself, doing your flanks, this is going to proc as well as Search Party. So very good little combination of this and the Origin trait. Now I think my last option in the third column here would be the good old Zen Moment. Either this or Dynamic Sway is basically tied for the first or second option. Feel very similar in my opinion. Reduce that flinch and recoil, both of them. Turn this thing into a laser beam basically the longer that you hold down the trigger. So Dynamic Sway might be a little bit better in that aspect, easier to proc, because Zen Moment you do have to cause damage. Now if you're absolutely slaying out, Kill Clip is a good way to go for the fourth column. Reloading after grants a nice damage increase of 25% for that 3.4 seconds. Just kidding, that said 3.6, but if you're slaying out, getting those defeats, reload, get Kill Clip to proc, you can absolutely mow down Guardians. We do got stuff like Swashbuckler, Tap the Trigger as well, that are a good options. This thing has a lot of options, but this is my second choice right here with Target Lock. Kill Clip is for slaying out, Target Lock is for consistency. Damage increases the longer it is on a target. Absolutely disgusting in my personal opinion. A lot of people looking for Target Lock on the RRs for the PvP realm. Now this is my personal favorite in the third column, the Onslaught right here. After defeats, we are getting an increase in rate of fire. Absolutely disgusting in Crucible in my personal opinion, because this thing is already very good, and then you're gonna get that increased rate of fire after a defeat, and you are just going to mow people down, like I said, with Dynamic or Zen Moment. Absolutely disgusting combination. Again, would probably give this a 4.6 4.7 out of 5 for the Crucible as well, just because of how good this thing is. Definitely one of my favorite weapons, like I said, since it came out even way back in the day, even with its original version that we got way back in the Haunted Forest, whatever it was called before we got Lost Sectors. BrayTech Werewolf tech is super disgusting in my personal opinion, so definitely grind this bad boy out from those Lost Sectors. Very easy to go through just that playlist. You can get a good amount, turn in your pages, get those engrams, so very easy farm for all of these weapons here with that Search Party perk and with the Festival of the Lost. So appreciate you guys again for coming back to the channel. Means a lot to me, means a lot to the channel. If you subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss out on any of the content we put out here, videos on these god rolls as well as build guides. Like I said, we are gonna have a good little bit of builds with these guns here, because we only got a few more weeks of the Festival of Lost, so be on the lookout for a lot of god roll guides coming up here. Again, appreciate all y'all. Catch you in the next one. Peace.